Alright, YouTubers, just wanted to put together a little analysis of what it actually costs to supply your indoor hydroponic plants with nutrients. I'm using mostly general hydroponic ingredients with the exception of Power SI. I'm trying that now instead of Armor SI. I've just heard that the pH stability of the Power SI is a little bit better. So we're going to try that. It's a little bit more expensive. But on average, I'd say that the nutrients come out to about, an average of 5 cents. A lot of them are lower than that. So like the micro and the grow and the bloom are all about a penny or so per milliliter. If you buy them in the gallon especially. So, a lot of the key ingredients, the stuff you're dumping a lot of it into the system, it's not that expensive. So, but on average it's about 5 cents a milliliter. And I'm going to use a 5 gallon deep water culture example for what I would do for a tomato plant. So basically, it's about 3. That's what I use. I actually fill it up probably about 3 1/3 gallon, and that gets me to the bottom of the 6-inch net cup lid. So, but this is what I came up with, just a quick spreadsheet. I could put in whatever gallons I want, and it'll instantly put in a feed chart for me. And this particular one, basically what I've concluded is I think I can carry the nutrient blend 2 to 3 weeks unless I have some problem. So here's what I'm going to begin doing. I'm starting this chart on week 5 because I'm just assuming a few weeks for germination and early growth. But then on around week 5 or so, I'm gonna put them in a deep water culture early growth mix. And so for example, for a 5-gallon deep water culture bucket that uses 3 gallons of nutrients, I would go and put 1.5 milliliter of Power SI, 7 of Cali Magic, and so on and so forth. So that particular mixture I would hope would last for 3 weeks, and the total cost of that round would be $2.15. You can see it at the bottom there. So you just kind of work your way down the road. I've got some plants in transition right now, and they seem to be doing really well, so it's a good step from early growth to transition. I took some plants from, I think, late growth to mid-bloom or early bloom or something, and they kind of freaked out. So the transition seems to be a good happy medium in between growth and bloom. And then early bloom and mid-bloom, and I may do late bloom in there, just I guess depends on how much more space I've got with the plant. They're not really that different though. So anyway, I think the mid-bloom would probably be fine for the rest of the plant's life. And then they've got this ripen thing in there, and I don't know if I don't know if I'm ever going to get there with the plant. Hopefully I will. I'm not too far away with a couple of them that have come back to life, but I think that might be kind of interesting to try. I did get the dry, cool bloom before I kind of realized that it looks like I'm really not going to use it that much, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So when you total it all up, the total nutrient cost is expected to be around $13 for an indoor plant. It's probably quite a bit more than you would put on a tomato plant outdoors, but you do have some more control in this environment. You don't have to put bug spray on the plants. You can also recover dying plants, like I've shown is possible. Whereas if it's in the ground, and there's a problem, a lot of times what I used to do is just go do research online and pick amongst the hundreds of different possible problems that you had with your plant, and then dump a bunch of whatever it suggested into the ground. And if that didn't work, then, I never went to step two. I just, kind of counted it as a loss. But in this case, you can actually, have some pretty good control over what your root system is in. So I've been able to troubleshoot a couple of situations, which I really had no idea what was going on. And once I got control of the nutrient solution, the plants reacted as they should. They started growing again and pumping out fruit. So I think that your plant loss, it has a chance to be less. So I think when you take into all those considerations, you know, maybe it's not as dramatic of an increase to go this direction. Now, this doesn't include the electricity cost, which is, a whole other ball game. Um, Maybe that's another video, because obviously sunlight is free. But anyway, I thought it was interesting. At the end of the day, I'm not trying. This is not a cost thing. It's great that you get some, benefit for the dinner table for doing this. But I'm really trying to create a tomato that tastes fantastic, because I love tomatoes, and the tomatoes you get in the grocery store are, they're just flavorless. You can tell they've been picked 2 weeks before they turned red, and it's just, I feel like what I'm hoping to do is produce something that doesn't taste like a vegetable that's in your grocery store. It tastes like actual, homegrown tomato. So, in my opinion, that is something I can't buy at the store. Not even Whole Foods. So that's my goal. I thought this analysis might be helpful for any numbers geeks out there like me.